It's hard to argue with this ranking. This team put in hours of preparation in the offseason, and it showed on the field, as this team came out firing on all cylinders, leading the league in points after the first week. Incredibly, this victory sold on Thursday night as Kareem outscored his opponent single-handedly. However, I don't see any reason to fear this team moving forward. If there's anything we know about this front office, it's that they will shit the bed and panic their way into trading away its best assets. No one has forgotten the last place finish this team embarrassed itself with last year. I wouldn't be surprised if this team drops below the top 5 by week 4. And boy, does this team need Zeke to stay innocent. This team sits at 2 right now due to its week 1 victory and putting up a good amount of points. But if any of its starters go down, this team could be royally screwed. This team is extremely top heavy with a bench that is hot garbage. Mark Ingram is already a questionable second running back, and now we see Adrian Peterson bitching at his coach for more carries and probably going home and taking out all of his anger on his son, so who knows what will happen there. The next man up would be Thomas Rawls or Darren Sproles. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. But until someone goes down this team will sit right here at number 2. This may be a shocker to many ICPA fans, but the team that took the most shit in the draft finds itself cracking the top 3. This team had a comfortable 19-point win, but what helps this team stay at number 3 is the amount of players with a high floor. With the likes of Antonio Brown, Dak Prescott, and yes, even Lamar Miller leading the troops, I don't see the starting lineup producing too many duds and could actually string together some wins. The second highest week 1 score sits at number 4, but why not higher? Because I see a lot of risk that was already on full display during the first week. Big Ben never looked comfortable against the Browns, a defense no one fears, and what seems to have become a weekly tradition, Shane McCoy took a knee on the sideline, grimacing in pain. Not to mention, T.Y. Hilton's playing with an autistic quarterback, and Jordan Reed is only a few hours away from being on the IR. I have major concerns for the future of the squad. To be honest, this team and the next one on the list were the hardest to rank. I was splitting hairs since both these teams have the same amount of pros and cons, but assertive and insertive edged out the 5 spot due to the front office. Like any great owner, when one of the players heads to the hospital, you do too. The second this owner heard Allen Robinson shredded his ACL, he decided to let Josie ash a cig on his cut in his hand, and he got sent into surgery in the same room with Allen Robinson. It's an inspirational story, and one that will live in the ICPA history books for a long time. Like I said, splitting hairs. Sorry, Rook, you won't hear much on your team until next week. It was clear from the get-go that this week wouldn't be the best for Bryson when they decided to bench a 3-touchdown performer. Still, the troops persisted through the week and almost pulled out the win. I like what this team has going forward with only a weakness at the tight end position. But God, what a weakness it is. The matchup-proof legend Hunter Henry laid a giant goose egg and will likely find himself on the waivers this week. But fill that hole and this team will likely move up the rankings. Another team that stayed competitive until the very end, but couldn't come up with a clutch play when it mattered. And that's going to be the story for this group moving forward. When the game is on the line, with the final possession, who can this team turn to make a play and pull out the W? Top pick Julio Jones is unquestionably a monster, but has never shown the ability to be consistent. The 2 other players they might look for are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald, but they're about to turn into fossils any minute now. Let's see if this team can start answering this question next week. Tough blow this team endured within 10 minutes of the first NFL Sunday. Pussy Pants Woodhead felt a little tightness in his hamstring and decided he wanted to rest until playoffs. This owner stuck his head out to draft the king of injury-prone players, but Woodhead just couldn't deliver. Now the team will look for the wide receiver position to carry it to victory in the upcoming weeks, and honestly, they might come through. They have Keenan Allen at the 1, Demaryius Thomas at the 2, Jameson... Wait a second. They they have Odell too. Odell. Are you kidding me? OBJ at the 1, Keenan Allen at the 2. Are you fucking serious? And Demarius at the flex. Holy shit! This team will be just fine moving forward. This is an interesting team because we haven't seen much from it. There's big holes due to Hurricane Irma, but also that shows a weakness in the front office. The draft scouts for the other teams were able to find out that there's about to be 3 hurricanes hitting the East Coast and stayed away from drafting these players. But this team was clueless to the damage that was heading to Florida. Next week we'll find out if drafting 2 Bucks works out. Teams starting 0-2 really make the playoffs. Well, this is what happens when you draft the second and third string running back on one team and the third and fourth string running back on another team. Your team shits the bed. Even players we thought would be tops at their positions didn't show up, with Brady and Le'Veon scoring less than 17 points combined. We're going to need to see a lot more grit from this team if they want to get out of the bottom 3. Thank you for the $230 Schwartzy. Hopefully you decide to take another crack at it next year. But for right now, on behalf of the rest of the league, we thank you for the free money.